Dr. James Barry is a unique character who had gone down in history for daring to achieve what no other woman before her had been able to do. Born Margaret Ann Bulkley, she disguised herself as a man to pursue her dream of becoming a renowned doctor. Her story of courage and determination serves as an inspiring reminder of the power of following one's dream. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel. In this video, we'll explore the incredible story of the doctor who was a woman, and how her story continues to inspire today. Before we do that, we'd love for you to support us by subscribing to our channel and turning on our post notifications. This is a free pass to our premium content as it drops. Margaret Ann Bulkley was born in 1789 in Cork, Ireland. She was the daughter of a successful merchant and his wife. Growing up, Margaret was a bright and determined child. Her parents wanted her to have the best education possible, so they sent her to a school for girls in London. At the school, Margaret excelled in her studies and developed a passion for medicine. She was determined to pursue a career in medicine, but this was a challenging goal for a woman in the early 19th century. Women were not allowed to attend medical school, so many of them had to marry. Those who didn't follow in those footsteps were usually confined to joining the nunnery. Margaret understood the condition behind her plight and decided that she was going to take a bold step, one that had not been seen in a long time, so Margaret had to devise a plan. She decided to change her identity and become a man, thereby getting the freedom to further her studies. This was similar to the early 2000s movie Mulan, where she had to hide her identity to join the army. After deciding to follow through with the decision, Margaret had to face the difficulty of playing the role of a man without detection. The whole charade wasn't going to be easy, but still, she'd have to be brave. The process of transformation was not easy for Margaret Ann. She knew that she would have to make drastic changes to her lifestyle if she had any chance of success. Since this was a time that was different from ours in the aspect of dressing and inclusivity, men were easily distinguishable, so she had to change her wardrobe, reinvent her looks by cutting off her hair, and even train a baritone voice. With makeup and a corset, Margaret Ann, now James Barry, could walk the street without issues. However, if those were the only issues there, it would have been a tidbit easy. But the task of getting into university could reveal her secret. In those times, a successful candidate needed a male sponsor to make them eligible to get admitted. This was going to be impossible with the issue of her identity, which posed her first main issue. So what Margaret Ann did was confide in her uncle, who stood for her and made her plans quite achievable. Before we go on, we'd like to implore you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Also, turn on post notifications to get all our content as it drops. After graduating from Edinburgh University in 1812, James became a medical doctor and was soon known for his intelligence and innovation. He set a huge standard in the medical field, and many other doctors had to follow in his footsteps. Barry went on to serve in both the British Army and Navy, eventually rising to the rank of Inspector General of Hospitals in 1857. His work earned him respect and admiration from his peers, who gave him the nickname the Florence Nightingale of South Africa. He was the first doctor to perform a successful Caesarean section in Africa. Barry made a name for himself as also the first doctor to advocate for improved hygiene standards in hospitals. For that, he will always be remembered. Throughout her life, Barry was committed to the cause of medical reform. She fought tirelessly against unfair medical practices, such as overcrowding and inadequate sanitation in British hospitals. She campaigned for better healthcare for the poor and developed a revolutionary new hospital inspection system to ensure that patients received the care they deserved. However, Barry's career was not only remarkable for its success, but also for its secrecy. Dr. Barry's life was not only defined by his career, he was also known for his relationships. Dr. Barry was a passionate advocate for women's rights and was known for his close relationships with women. Many people didn't understand this, as they saw it as a heteronormative relationship, but it was born out of a sense of community. He was also very vocal in fighting for women's rights, and this was obvious as he advocated for women's education, something he knew was very hard. Over time, his relationship with women and his fighting for their rights made him a mentor to many aspiring female doctors. At that time, there were also rumors, as he was known for his close relationship with Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. The discovery of Margaret Ann Bulkley shocked the world, but it wasn't something that happened overnight. It began with various clues that were slowly pieced together over time. The story started in 1798, when an anonymous individual signed their name as James Barry. This person would become one of the most renowned surgeons in British Army history. While serving with distinction, it was also assumed that James Barry was a man, until after their death in 1865. At the time of Barry's death, the doctors performing the autopsy were shocked to discover that James Barry was actually a woman. The discovery revealed that the pioneering surgeon had actually been Margart Bulkley, a woman who disguised herself as a man. The discovery of Margart Bulkley caused quite a stir. People were amazed at Bulkley's courage and determination to go against societal conventions to follow her dreams. For many, her story was a wake-up call. It showed them that if you go against the grain, you can do what you want in life. But the story wasn't without criticism. As one would have expected, some people didn't believe a woman could be as knowledgeable and capable as a man. This all happened during a time when women weren't allowed to speak in a public setting, so it all didn't make sense. Others argued that Bulkley was setting a dangerous precedent by breaking the rules of gender roles. Most of these people still debate that her influence led to the decline of gender roles in our society. Despite the criticism, Bulkley's story has gone down in history as an inspiring example of someone who chose to live her life on her terms. She saw that the world wasn't rigged in her favor and decided to take it by the horn. So we've come to the end of this video, and we hope you learned something. We looked at the courageous life of Margart Bulkley and how she stood against all odds. If you enjoyed this video, kindly give us a thumbs up to show us support. We'd also like you to subscribe to our channel and turn on our post notifications. This will give you access to our content as it drops. Also, share your opinion in the comment section below, and we'll discuss it with you. Thanks for joining, and have a great one.